Welcome, everybody, to the Third Period Podcast, NBHL's best and only podcast. I am your host, as always, Darren Basmajan, and with me, two new fresh faces to the podcast. Not two fresh faces to the league, guys who've been here for quite some time and know what they're doing. They're gonna help me break down, or I guess they're gonna break down because I don't know much, as always, about the X and Y leagues, which are also known as the mixed leagues, the ones where you have men and women. So it should be pretty interesting. First off, to my right, to the left of your screen, is Joey Bernardo of Doghouse. Joey, thanks for coming.
No problem.
Before we go any further, give the people a little, for those who might not know you, just give a little breakdown of what your stance in this league is, what you've done, how long you've been here, who you're with, etc.
All right. I came into the league in about 2002, 2003. Came in with Bad Medicine. We still have that team this year. It's been in the league for about 13 years. Play also in the Masters, the Co-Ed League, obviously. Just a great league, tons of fun.
So you've pretty much done a lot in this league.
Yeah,
you've seen and done a lot. Yeah,
been around the block.
All right. Well, we'll dig into that knowledge soon enough. Then next to the left of me, we've got Ryan Rourke of the Swipe Rights. Just in terms of team names, so far he's leading. Just so you know, I'm on board with this. Ryan, tell us about yourself.
I think it's been about 3 years now that I've been playing ball hockey.
All right.
So I just started 3 years ago.
Like ball hockey altogether? Never played not on the street.
On
nothing?
the street as a kid, yeah.
Okay, fine. All right. At least you've got that. I would be really impressed otherwise.
So 3 years. I've been playing co-ed since I started playing ball hockey. I came in with IHAS and and then had my team Sunday Funday, which has transitioned to the Swipe Rights.
All right. Well, again, so far leading in terms of team names. I'm just saying. I don't know. We'll take a look at the other team names before we get into the actual breakdown of the X and Y league. Since we have a little bit more time on this, let's kind of just talk about the mixed leagues because it's such a unique concept that you don't really see in most recreational leagues. What made you think, first of all, like I want to play in a mixed league? Let's start with you, Joey.
You got to see the girls in this league. The girls in this league are beautiful. And they're talented.
I just want to married.
Yeah. No,
nothing I say is an approval of anything he's saying.
I'm just being honest there.
No, but go on.
Every team in this league, half their girls on their team are better than half the guys on their team.
They're definitely better than me.
Yeah, it's such a developmental league that you see these girls and it's just incredible to watch and play with them. It's a fun league and that's it. I
assume these are a lot of girls who also have like experience playing hockey, ice hockey, and things like that growing up, I would imagine.
Depends what team.
Yeah, it depends what team. Some girls have never played before. Some girls played university hockey. It's female hockey leagues. I know Nikki Wild told me she played like an all-girls hockey league. I know Chelsea Privé, Tori, these girls played high-end hockey. So it's good to play against them because most of them are better than most guys.
Ryan, how about you? What was your thought process getting into this into the mixed league?
Well, that I like hockey and that I like girls.
So put the two together. Yeah,
it's been a happy marriage.
Yeah, I bet. All right,
the only one I have.
I'm again not saying anything, just in case she's watching. Okay, well, how is it different from playing in a men's league? What obviously don't tell me you're playing against women, but I'm saying like in terms of strategy, in terms of gameplay, in terms of rules, what's different between the different things?
Well, when you show up to a men's league, you're there to go hard and be competitive, and it gets pretty physical. This is a Sunday league. You're showing up to have fun. You're playing hockey for an hour, but the major concept of this league is not while you're playing for the hour, it's after you're done playing. All the teams hang out together in the bar after. You socialize. I could be against Ryan this year. Next season, I'm on his team. But all the teams hang out together, just bond. It's a very fun, friendly league. It's competitive. It is competitive. It
has to be sports, right?
Yeah, it's competitive. But I mean, it's just the whole aspect of the league itself is just. It's a casual Sunday, people like to do certain things. This is, you're going to play hockey for an hour, but you're there for 5-6 hours because you're chilling before, you're chilling after. It's a good time.
I think it's a larger social element.
Okay.
As well as what I've noticed in particular about my team is people who start to get in their 20s who have let go of minor sports. It is an outlet for them to come back to. A lot of people said, I played hockey as a teenager. Girls played ringette as a teenager. There's not much out there at a good cost or with the equipment, all that combined, for people to get back into it. So many people, we've had a lot of girls and guys' parents show back up because they haven't seen their son or daughter play sports in 5 or 10 years, and I don't know anyone who's signed up who's willingly stopped playing.
I see what you mean.
Kept playing, and a lot of times schedules conflict, but everyone that we've had has always want to keep playing.
So it's basically what I'm getting is a very big community vibe. Basically, you guys kind of build a community. It's almost like a family, like you're saying, and everybody wants to come back. But it's more, it's like part game, part mixer, I guess. Or
yeah, well, the first mixed league team that I was on, we put in with a lot of different guys, with myself and Julio and Justin Romeo. And I think 4 or 5 of the guys end up just breaking off into their own teams, kind of like expansion, because we put one team of about 13, 14, and that everyone wanted to play, that we had to go to 3 teams, and I think we ended up maxing out at 5 or 6 teams. And the only problem with that is we never got to play together again.
That's how it goes. Expansion, right?
Yeah.
At least that's how it is. All right. So I'm sure the people who are watching this are thinking, well, we're talking about the only 2 leagues in NBHL where women play. Wouldn't it have been great to get 2 women on the show? And my comment to that is, yeah. Not that I'm not happy to have Joey and Ryan here. They're 2 guys who really know this league quite well, and I'm looking forward to breaking it down with them. But obviously, we wanted to get a couple of women, or at least one woman, on this show to kind of give their viewpoint on how it is to play in this type of league. Unfortunately, nobody took us up on the offer. We will eventually be swinging back to X and Y once we're further in the playoffs. So if anybody is interested and feels like they want to give this a shot, contact Sean, which, by the way, I'm really bad at this because I did not give the Twitter handles, at @MBHL_official, which would be Sean Guerrero, at MBHL Media for me. I don't know if you guys have Twitter handles and you want to give them out or anything like that, or if you have something to say to them, you can find them on Sunday for 4 to 5 to 6 hours.
Yeah. Well,
is that pretty much it?
Yeah, and
bang
the
on.
women didn't have the balls to show up.
Not touching that one. Not touching that one. All right, guys, let's jump into it then. Without further ado, let's go into the X League where you both play. Starting off, it's a 6-team league. We've got at the top we have the Friendships with 18 points, Doghouse at 16 points, Swipe Rights at 11, Nuts and Honeys, which again, good name, awesome, at 10 points, Pumpkin Chunkin at 7, and Recruits Y at 6. Talk to me about the top teams here. Obviously, statistically speaking, it's the Friendships as of right now. Let's go through. There's not too many teams in this league, so let's go through them one by one. Let's talk about the Friendships a little bit. What makes them so good?
They got a solid back end. Their goalie is one of the top goalies in the co-ed league. Anytime you got a Troy Ryan on your team, you know you're guaranteed to be one of the top teams. And I mean, they got firepower. They got Eric Larson, who's a sniper. They got Vardy. They're just a solid overall team. Their girls are amazing once again. They got Chelsea, Tori, Lauren Proudfoot. What's that other girl's name? Evan Anderson. He's all right too. So they're a very good team. They're a talented team, but they can be beat.
Looking at the numbers, I mean, they've lost 1 game, they've tied twice. What makes you think that? What gives you that thing aside from confidence in your own team? I'm assuming is what you're alluding to, but I'm saying just beyond that, what are the faults that someone can exploit?
Any given Sunday, man. Right. Any given Sunday, anybody.
They interrupt their Saturday night curfew that Troy Ryan has imposed on them.
Okay.
So he's pretty hard at keeping that pretty strict.
Okay.
I think if they don't get their 8 hours, we can get to them.
You can get to them? Yeah. A nice early game.
They're the best conditioned team in the league, that's for sure.
Okay, yeah. I got what you mean. So there are things like, look, regular viewers of the podcast know I'm a big advocate of causing car trouble to the best players on the other team before the game. So, maybe...
You'd have to stop their team bus that they take.
They take a team bus? Yes. All right. Yep. Is that for real?
Yeah.
An actual team bus?
Yeah.
That is commitment, let me tell you.
Well, they want to save the environment. That's the type of team they are.
Well, that's why they're number 1.
Yeah.
They're number 1 on the score sheet, but also in our hearts.
Yeah.
All right, so let's move on down to Doghouse. Obviously, Joey can talk to us a little bit about them. But before we go, Joey, I'd like to hear Ryan's point of view because I never like hearing the guys talk about their own team.
On Doghouse.
Yeah.
Well, we just lost to them, so we're still bitter.
Okay, good. Let that bitterness flow.
They're a very good team. They have high-end talent on their top lines. Good goaltending again. Jamie Collister is someone I know really well. He's very solid. He shows up every time. That's also very important.
It is. It's an underrated.
Misses a game. Very dependable goalie. Very sought-after goalie. I take him on my team. Then they have Julio and Joey that can score goals. Just a solid team overall. They have good girls like Monica on their team and Nikki. Very hard to play against. Just a very well-balanced, good team. And they play the right way. They have a good time out there. So it's always a good game when we play them.
All right. So we're looking for a possibility of a rematch down the road.
2 weeks.
Hey, 2 weeks?
Next weekend.
Yeah,
last season game of the year.
Last season game of the year.
So that could be a big one, I would say. Joey, now, again, without putting yourself in a bad position, obviously, I don't know if you want to throw somebody under the bus on your own team. I've had that happen in the past where somebody's done that. Send a message or something like that. But otherwise, just tell us why you guys have had the season you have so far.
We actually started off rough. We started off the season 0-4-1 or 0-3-1, and then we picked it up. Jess is our captain, Jess Kaneb. She drafted a team of people that like to chill, as she says.
Okay.
So it took a couple of games for the team to start bonding, but I mean, it's just like I said, it's a fun team. The girls are great. The guys are great. Our goalie's solid. It's just chemistry, you just got to start enjoying showing up to the rink and having fun. And when we started off the season, we weren't doing that. Then after a couple of games, we started to have fun. It took a little team party, and then we never looked back. But like I was telling Ryan in the car, we were talking about it on the way here. Anybody can beat anybody. Friendships can beat us. We can beat them. Swipe rights have beat us already. We've beat them. Don't underestimate these other teams down at the bottom. Anybody can beat anybody on any given night. So it's just a fun league. It's a solid league.
Well, you guys are on quite a roll at this point. If you're telling me you started 0-3-1, you guys are 7-3-2 based on, again, the always dependable website. So, I mean, that's a hell of a roll.
We haven't lost in 8 weeks.
There you go. That's beyond solid as far as I'm concerned, but that's good, man. It means things are going well for you guys. All right, Ryan, again, let's go. Swipe rights are coming up now, but again, let's flip it. So, Joey, tell me about the swipe rights. Obviously, you just beat them this week. So, tell me why you beat them. Was it because of Ryan?
No. It was actually a good back and forth game. They're one of the teams we love to play against. There's never a penalty called. It's fun. If we score, they're giving us high fives. If they score, we're giving them high fives. Everybody's friends with each other on that team, so it's always a pleasure to play them. It doesn't get too competitive, but I mean, they got a great team. They got Ryan, they got Jimmy Surwa, they got Riaz on the back end. Their goalie's pretty solid when he's in shape.
Okay, I need more details on that. Ryan, let's go to you here. You were talking about how good it is to have a dependable goaltender, and I feel like that was maybe an allusion to...
Our team is kind of based on a few core players that have been together since we expanded the league. A lot of our team works in the bar industry in the West Islands. So Sundays, we like to play later in the afternoon. But we have a good team, and this year has been really different. We've got our goalie who's played rather well. He's never played ball hockey goalie before.
All right.
And two of our guys we brought in are close friends that have never played on an organized hockey team, ice hockey, ball hockey.
That's a big adjustment.
Or of any sport, actually.
Okay.
So they're really liking being part of a team. So we have our social nights, and we have a good time out there. We have our girls are a group of friends together, and everyone just looks forward to it. I'm not actually the captain of the team. It's Kayla is our captain. And we just have a lot of social nights, team nights out, group chat, and we have fun playing. As long as we stay in the mix for the playoffs, that's all we care about.
But no team bus.
No team bus. No, we're probably...
That might be the difference between being 5-5 and 1.
We have to hire a driver too.
Yeah. Well, that might be an advantage then, though, because then you can stay as long as you want after the game, and you're good. Everybody can make it home.
Our team,
you know how to party.
We like to have a good time.
That's good.
Our swipe rights is based on our Tinder profiles.
We'll throw up the link at the end of the podcast.
We're still waiting for our sponsorship check.
Yeah, well, you know what? Honestly, considering some other team names there are in this league, which are a bit more risque, I think that's probably the least risque sponsorship you could get here. All right, let's move on down to Nuts and Honeys. Another good team name as far as I'm concerned. Joey, talk to me about this team a little bit.
Nuts and Honeys. That's a team run by Stephanie Ross. They got also another good team. I mean, their forwards, Brian Shipley, Mike Brown, they get the job done. Every time you see them play, I mean, they got about 7 different guys who show up every game, but I mean, they always do what they got to do to field the team. Stevie does what she has to do to run that team. I mean, she's a good girl. She likes her hockey. She takes it serious. She's competitive, so it's good to see someone take action the way she does to make sure she has a team show up every night. So that's pretty much it. I mean,
it's hard to succeed throughout the season, though, when you have different people showing up every week.
Yeah, but I mean, I respect the fact that she does what she does, because if you're playing a team like that and they don't have anybody show up, then it sucks for you.
It's a hell of a boring game. Yeah,
I'd rather
for sure.
her call out the Mike DeMiglios, the Billy Kamissis, the Mark Guerreros.
Top contender for general manager of the year.
Yeah, definitely. I'd agree. So, I mean, they got a good team. They got a good team, but I don't know if they have a goalie. I know they got Vredis. I know they got Mike Condon. Who else did they have play for them, Ryan? Pietro.
Price, but he'll be back.
Yeah, Pietro, Manessa. I think they played about 9 games with about 12 different goalies. So, I mean, we'll see what happens come playoffs.
Who's going to be eligible? How does that work?
Like I said, she's the general manager of the year.
So if she can, well, maybe she can go in nets. If that's,
I think she already has, actually. She has gone in nets one time.
There you go.
Definitely does what it takes to win.
Yeah, that's you got no choice, right?
But they're a fun team. They play hard. They're another offshoot of the club family. Mm-hmm. So the first 4 teams we spoke about, they're all tied in.
Part of the same family.
Yeah.
So maybe that's the link, basically. You know, you guys are the top teams. Well, let's move down to Pumpkin Chunkin. This is they're at 7 points right now, 3-7-1. I would say now we're moving on into like the lower half. I mean, it's not really a half, but whatever, you get what I'm saying. The lower level. Tell me a bit about this team, Ryan.
Well, they're a team that met in a Warcraft chat room, I believe.
Okay.
So I really like playing against them. They're a good bunch of guys and girls.
Okay.
They come to play. They look like they're having fun. They've been in it since as long as I've been in it. I think maybe they might have been before. I'm not sure, but they've always been in. Never a problem with them. They feel a competitive team. It's usually around the same guys, and they might not be associated with the club, but they fit right in.
Okay,
you always
sure.
see them at their table drinking pitchers after and having a good time. And they seem like they're having a good time.
So what is it? What is it that's maybe lacking from that team to kind of step up to the higher level this season?
They're actually the only team. I respect them because
female goalie.
They have a female goalie, and in our rules, if people don't know, you have to have 2 girls on court at all times. Mm-hmm. So if you have a female goalie, you could play 4 guys and 1 girl up front, and they don't short shift anyone. They'll go with the same 3 and 2. So they'll have 3 girls on the court. They could use maybe a bit more scoring. Mm-hmm. They're usually pretty good at keeping out. Their goalie is good.
She's very good. Yeah.
They could just use maybe someone to score a couple more for them, because I think they're in every game. They might be at the bottom of the standings, but they don't get walked over.
No, well, it sounds to me
might need 1 game breaker.
Okay. Yeah. Well, so that's something to shoot for.
They got a solid player, Remo, I believe. He's one of their best players. He's a very good player. They got one of my buddies, VJ. Mm-hmm. VJ's on that team. Shout out to VJ. Go back with VJ. No, but they're a good team. They're a fun team, and like Ryan said, a lot of respect to them. They have a woman goalie who is one of the better goalies in the league. This girl can stop the puck. And they don't go out and play with 1 girl out of their 5. They still put out 2 girls.
Yeah, they're not doing it strategically to get an advantage. They're doing it because that's who their goalie is, and
everyone plays their share on their team. They fit in really well.
But it seems to me like nobody's in this league to try and game it to win a championship by screwing the system. I would imagine, unless I don't know.
No comment.
Well, you can make a comment if you want.
I'll let Ryan have this one.
Oh no,
go ahead, Ryan.
Go through the teams.
There's only one left, well, I guess if that's all we've got to say about Pumpkin Chucking, let's go to Recruits Y. They're 3-9 right now, 6 points, last spot in the X League. Go ahead, Ryan.
That's the only team we've had a rough game against. So we don't know anyone personally on that team. So we've had a couple altercations with them. They play very aggressive.
Okay.
Guys and girls alike on their team play very aggressive. I'm not sure, but I don't know really too much about them.
Okay.
They come to play, that's for sure.
It's intense.
They play hard.
It's always
very
intense. But it doesn't really fit into the dynamic that you guys have cultivated, I think, over the past.
Oh, it's not so bad, but as you can see, they're down there in last place, so they probably could use some help. Maybe a little bit of frustration boils over on their team.
Sure.
Because they've gotten into it with several teams, but
they're not afraid
on their team. They just have a couple of people that come to play hard.
That's it. They're not afraid to mix it up, and you got to respect a team like that. They probably come into this league looking like they're an outsider. So you gotta make your mark, and they'll do it which way they got to do it.
Sounds to me like they need to get involved in the bar scene, from what I'm hearing.
Yeah,
that's the leap up, right?
It always helps.
You can always make friends over drinks, and everything goes from there. Wasn't thinking that, but yeah, you're right. Okay, but they're at the bottom. I mean, what is there that you think that they're missing, Joy? If there's anything in particular that, and again, you guys said that basically anybody, any given Sunday, anything can happen. Is that a case where you think that this is a team that can jump up and really take out one of the big dogs?
No.
Okay.
Absolutely not.
All
but
right.
I guess it's more of not chemistry, but experience. Every year, teams adjust. You pick up players, you drop players.
Find somebody who fits your
they
system,
just need,
your scheme.
I mean, there are a bunch of guys and girls who come to play hockey, which is fine. They're nothing against them, but they're just not at the level that they could be.
Okay, I got
So they just got to make some moves, and maybe they'll be fine next year.
Their aggressive play, they're very loud out there, and they're very aggressive, and I think sometimes they wake some better teams out of their hangovers.
Sure, okay.
They
might play against them.
It might play against them being that aggressive to anger some people that might be taking it easy.
All right.
On Sunday.
No, but it's true. You know what? In a laid-back type of league, sometimes you need that stimulus to really jump out.
Well, that's been our experience with them. Is we've gone out for a good time and
it turned into something else.
And when you wake up a guy on our team, such as a Jimmy,
you
can do a lot of damage.
Guys who can,
in the highest level of ball hockey.
Yeah, that's right. Absolutely. Well, that's something. All right, so let's go into predictions here. It's hard because you guys are obviously both playing for a team that is in the thick of things. But if you have to predict a team other than your own to go all the way this season, who are you going to pick? Joey, let's start with you. You seem very pensive here.
Yeah, well, it's a tough question.
I'm taking you off the hook.
I would say,
your teammates will not trash you for not picking your team. I'm taking you off the hook.
No,
anyways.
If we're not in it, then I'd like to see, obviously, Friendships versus Swipe Rights.
Okay.
I mean, that'd be a good matchup.
And who you got if that's what happens? You got to pick one.
Well, I mean, it's tough. You got Troy and Larson versus Rourke and Jimmy Surwa. I mean, I think Friendships have the stronger goaltender, so I'd have to go with the Friendships. And I was part of that team for like the last 2 years. So not Friendships, but I played with Troy, so I got to give him the benefit of the doubt.
No bias here whatsoever.
No bias. No.
Ryan, how about you?
Personally, if I had to pick something, I'd love to see the Pumpkins beat the Friendships in the final.
All right. Why?
That would be great.
Any particular reason?
I would throw away my chance at the championship if that would happen.
Really?
I just would like to see the Pumpkins prosper.
All right.
They deserved it. They're on a drought. I don't think they've ever won. Everyone's had their turn winning. And if they beat the Friendships, well, I'd love to see that upset.
Tip their hat and maybe tip a glass.
We've talked about the recruits, so last beats first, in my opinion.
Would be something. Would be a story.
We'd be over here having another full podcast.
Definitely. All right. So how about you guys give me a dark horse pick? Again, take your own team out of it, but I'm not leaving you too many choices here since it's a 6-team league, but if you had to pick one of those lower level teams to maybe make a thing of it. Let's start with you, Ryan. Yeah.
I definitely think Stevie Ross can general manage her team to a championship.
All right. Assuming they find a goaltender who's qualified.
I think she'll find one.
She'll find one, or it'll be her.
Oh, no. She'll be ready come playoff time. That's why she's a dark horse.
All right.
She's qualified all these players to we don't know what you're facing.
All right.
Very hard to game plan against that.
That's a good point. All right. Joey, how about you?
I'd have to
Same
agree
thing?
with Ryan. Yeah, I'd have to agree with Ryan.
All right.
Especially if she gets Redis to qualify there.
Makes a big difference.
Yeah, makes a huge difference.
All right. Well, that's it for the X. Final thoughts before we move on to the Y. The Y is going to be a bit shorter, but final thoughts about the X League, the general experience. I mean, the season's pretty much over at this point. So what thoughts on how this season has unfolded, especially as per comparing to seasons past, Ryan?
Well, right now, this year has been a bit different since a lot of people took the summer off. So
Mm-hmm.
it's been good to get back in, and I think it's picked up right where it's left off. And looking forward to a good winter
Mm-hmm.
of the league, and I think it's doing well. A lot of people I really find a lot of people are, like I mentioned before, really enjoying getting back into playing competitive sports. Like on our team, we have 4 or 5 people that haven't played
It's
in years, and they're loving it.
It's like a drug. There's nothing like sharing a locker room with somebody and like just, you all show up, common goal. It's a lot of fun. I don't know.
You'd be surprised how many couples play together.
Oh,
So-
that must get dicey from time to time.
It's actually worked out pretty good. I mean, but the breakup trade,
Hmm.
it's a rule that I'm going to go on the air looking at Sean Guerrero saying that I know trades aren't allowed, but breakup situations, I think
you have
I think
to.
there should be an exception there.
Yeah,
I think
that's-
if you can prove breakup
Yeah, good point.
or adultery,
Yes,
I think a trade should be able to be passed within the league.
that's a good one. Yes, that's sold. We're good, Sean. It's done. As of today, it is now legal, but the trade deadline is passed. So sorry. All right, Joey. Just final thoughts before we go. Support for the breakup rule, whatever you want.
Yeah, I agree.
Cast your ballots,
I
guys.
agree with Ryan. The only question I have for Ryan is, based on this league, I mean, we hear the word gutless go around a lot.
It's a term I've heard before.
Yeah, we hear it. Do you have any players in mind that you would say are actually gutless in this league?
Are we allowed to continue here? Okay, good.
I'm not sure what would define gutless. Is it
How about like there's an empty net goal and then like,
a first or a second empty net goal?
let's go with the second.
Sometimes there's a couple. Sometimes the goalie is too tired to go all the way back in his net when they have a 2-goal lead. So a third empty net goal could be deemed gutless.
Could be deemed
unnecessary.
gutless, but we won't mention names.
We won't mention names. It's just a general hockey play that I've never seen before.
So would you say there are a lot of gutless players in this league?
Well, one has been forced into retirement. I think he's up north fishing somewhere.
Yeah, his girlfriend's on my team.
Yep. There you go.
All right.
All right, Y League. I'm gonna let that one simmer there. A lot of it went over my head, but I think I kind of got the idea.
I also want to send a shout out to Bobby Sims and
Okay.
hope his registered saving plans are working so we could get into the league next year.
Okay.
Right.
He's a little short this year, but he's been saving up all fall, and he's going to be a high-priced free agent, meaning you'll have to pay for a season.
Okay.
Bodog Bobby.
All right. Y League now. Y League, not too big for 4 teams, obviously. And I know you guys, neither of you play in the Y League, but I think you guys have a lot of experience with these teams one way or another. Top spot right now is Racks and Sacks with 14 points. Then we got the Underdogs at 10 points, Dirty Tips at 9, and Smashing Pumpkins at 9 as well. We can go through each team. We can just talk in general about the story. I mean, without going into seasons, tell me a bit about. Let's start with the Racks and Sacks. Whoever feels more comfortable talking about them.
Racks and Sacks are a team run by Kenny Belanger. It's a ring team.
Mm-hmm.
They come from the 4-on-4, but I mean they got a solid team. They got Marco Mazzotti. He's a solid player. They got this other guy, Anthony. He's, I think, the top scorer in the league. Monica's having a really good season there. She's playing a lot of hockey lately. She's getting better. She told me that's what she wants to do. So, I mean, they're a good team. I mean, the competition in that league is more tighter, but they're a good team. They're probably the team to beat in that division. But Kenny always does a good job putting teams together. It's his pride and joy. So, shout out to them.
All
Racks and Sacks.
Racks and Sacks.
With the names they dropped there, I think they'll be up with us next session.
Hopefully.
Yeah. Well, there you go. And their pun game is worthy, at least. All right. Let's move on to Underdogs. No pun there, unless there's one that I'm not aware of. Talk to me about this team a bit.
They're a team that's usually played against us. I guess they've gone down. They've had a tougher time playing up against the club teams, but they're a good bunch that show up to play hard every week. Just them again, they're missing one or two pieces to compete with the teams up in our league, so I'm glad they're doing well down there.
Yeah, I mean, look, they're having a 500 season. There's nothing to shake a stick at.
No,
they were always a top team in our league, so I guess maybe they lost a player or two and they decided to go to the rec league, but they were always a top team in our league. So
and maybe some breakups. Who knows? Yeah.
It's true. Free agency,
it's
tough.
It is tough. Yeah. Off topic here, but I don't know. You guys might know this better than me. But has it ever happened that a couple breaks up and the guy leaves one girl for another girl on the team?
Well,
in your knowledge,
there's been
some stuff, eh?
Yeah.
Hey, that's got to be dicey.
Well, my team, there's a breakup every weekend.
But are they back together when the next week starts?
They break up for the weekend. They both go wild, and then they're back together.
So
I won't mention any names, Julio, but it's that's what makes our team stronger.
Sure. It's fire.
But I mean, they're good. I mean,
hey, what works for some people might not work for others.
We have a great scouting program when it comes to that.
Okay.
We're always filling our spots. Me and my teammate Riaz Turner are out scouting for new talent all the time.
Good.
We're just out there scouring the bars, the internet, just looking for new players.
Creeping away. They're creepers. You could call them creepers, but they're nice guys. So.
Yeah. So
hey, scouting is a big part of the game.
We don't discriminate. Everyone gets a tryout, and a special few make the team.
But Riaz is a switch hitter, but I mean that's okay, right?
Yeah, he plays the point at both ends.
Yeah.
Okay, so underdogs.
Back to the why.
Back to the why. We're going to keep going to the why. Sorry about that. As I get updates about the Habs game. I don't think it's looking too good for them. Underdogs, so basically just a team that kind of just dropped down, maybe a bit more competitive situation for them right now. Dirty tips. Again, pun game's very strong here. It's funny. I worked for another league where they didn't let the Lost Boys in as a team name. Now I come to NBHL and it's like a lot of stuff is fair game. It's very interesting.
Carte blanche at the NBHL.
It seems that way, especially in the X and Y. I said, the pun game is strong. Dirty tips. Talk to me about dirty. Okay, no, I'm not going to phrase that sentence the same way. Talk to me about the team called the Dirty Tips.
Don't know much about them.
Okay,
seen them play a couple of games. Just a little bit below average team, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
But when you got a solid team like the first two teams in that league, I mean, I believe it's a 4-team league.
Yeah.
So it's not hard to be one of the bottom two teams. But I mean,
they're 4-6-1. They're not.
They're in there. But I mean, just an overall young team.
Don't know much about them.
So a young team, though. I'm getting Sean nodding his approval. So at least there's that. So, of course, don't want to dissuade anyone. That's where you're supposed to start when you're a young team, right? And then slowly build your way up. Maybe hang out with the guys at the bar afterwards and learn a thing or two. Cross-pollinate some team players and stuff like that. That always helps.
That's what it is. It's all about hanging out in the bar after. Yeah. Shout out to Mark Gaineb. That's it.
All right. I thought you were going somewhere further. All right.
No, he's our coach.
All right. Smashing Pumpkins. Last one here. Do we know more about
the Pumpkin Chunkin?
I figured there was some kind of link there.
So it's good. Just they usually have a lot of players, so I guess maybe they divide it up to two. I'm sure some players cross over, but basically the same thing. What I have to say about their Y division team. Good bunch of good crew.
Mm-hmm.
They like to play. They come have fun there. They play clean. They play hard. Just a good bunch.
All right. So then, again, 4-team league, it's kind of hard to get into too much detail about anything. But, I mean, it seems like the top two teams are obviously Rax and Sax and Underdogs. If you had to pick, based on your knowledge of these two teams, who do you think will be victorious by the end of it?
Out of those top two teams?
Yeah.
I don't know, because I could see...
Well, you could even
I could see the Pumpkins causing an upset there, but
all
I mean...
So give me whoever you see as the top team. Who do you think?
I would go as the top team. I'd go with Rax and Sax.
Yeah.
But I mean, I've watched them play. They can be beaten.
Sure, anybody can.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
How about you, Ryan? Same thing? Yeah. Okay. If you had to pick a team, because sometimes it's not the top team that can compete, but let's say competing at the X League level. If you had to pick a team from these four.
Are you saying to come up to
your level and to compete, not just like just show up and be like the last place
I'd like
team?
to see Rax and Sachs up there with us.
Yeah.
Probably
Yeah.
replace. Sounds like they have good players, and they sound like they have like a good crew of people too that would fit in right now. I think Joey said a couple of people cross over into the league, so they'd have to make a choice.
Yeah.
But breakups happen all the time.
That's right. And as of today, breakup trades are eligible.
It's authorized.
It's authorized.
So go for it. You know, you can trade future first round picks and things like that too.
Future ex-wives.
Again, not saying anything.
No.
Recently married.
Yeah. Congrats.
The X word does not exist here. Guys, final thoughts. We really appreciate you guys coming on. I know that you've got a game like not too far away from now, Joey, so I appreciate you taking the time. Get you out here on this. Final thoughts on the season in general, how everything's gone, predictions going here on. Now I'm allowing you to talk about your team, say what you will or anything like that. Throw some words down, you know, and see if you can back them up, whatever. You guys have been sending a lot of inside jokes up there, so I mean, I'll give you one last chance.
Like I said, the league's a success. I find every season it's getting better. As for predictions, anything can happen. I mean, all the teams in this league, especially the top 3-4 teams, I find are solid. I think it could go any way, but I'm not going to go out on a limb and predict anybody because it all depends what you do on Saturday night. Depends what happens on Sunday, so no predictions. But I mean, as long as this league sticks around,
you'll still be there.
I'll still be there.
Awesome. Ryan, how about you?
Yep, same thing. It's just it's a fun league to play in. It's always just a great way to spend a Sunday. The fall time's always great with football on after, before. So it's just good. And as far as the hockey comes down to, it's like I said, like anything, who shows up to play is gonna. There's not one team that's overpowering.
I want to ask you guys, just off, like not too far off topic, but caliber-wise, I've obviously seen these games be played. I think they're pretty good. There's a lot of talent there. How high do you think, like, let's say the best team from the X could compete in, let's say, the just men's leagues?
Oh, guaranteed. Half the teams in the co-ed can beat half the leagues.
Really? To that point, eh?
Yeah.
So
when you have some of these girls, like I said, some of these girls take harder slap shots. They run, they can pass. I mean, nothing against any of the men's league.
Of course not. No. But I'm just asking.
Points to whatever.
Look, in the end, they have 1 or 2 leagues to play in. So I mean, like it or not, some of the teams will be super, super strong.
I'll say that some of these teams can beat some of the all-male teams in the lower end of the league.
Sure.
But I'll also go out and say that half of the girls in this league can easily play in any of the male leagues from a certain point on. You know what I mean? From, let's say, the 0-point leagues all the way to a 10-point league. Half these girls in this league can play and compete with the men.
And so, like, do you guys feel like maybe, again, I'm just spitballing, obviously it's not an official thing, but do you think that maybe we should start to see them play in higher leagues? I mean, I know you sign up to play the mixed, and some people have this thing in their head not to play against women, but like you guys can play and you don't really care. You play in other leagues, right?
I think it's
good to have it separated.
Yeah, I mean, this isn't Larink here. They do that at Larink.
Yeah.
Here we have our all males.
Yeah.
And we have our co-ed league. If anything, they can have an all-female league if they get enough girls to do that, but to actually have girls play in an all-men's league, you can't really have that because if it gets physical or something like that, then you got to smash somebody for no reason. And I think it's perfect.
There's too many loose cannons out there.
NBHL is doing a great job.
All right.
Keep it the way it is.
Agree, Ryan?
Yeah, I agree. And I just think, some of the mixed teams would give an all-men's team a good game.
Yeah.
Just based on the top few teams have top-flight goaltending, and every team has 2 guys that'll break half the league's caps. As far as the points wise. So, I mean, but I don't see much of a point.
I don't know. I understand. I was just curious again because a lot of people, like it or not, a lot of people kind of have this mentality: oh, women can't play sports, can't do anything, whatever. And so I think what's great about this league, these 2 leagues, but I'm saying NBHL in general, is we're kind of dispelling that notion. We're kind of putting it out there that not only are they able to play, but they're better than most of the guys again, at this table, me personally, definitely they're better than me. So I don't, and Sean is pointing to himself as well. So I think it's a great thing, but I was just kind of curious about the level of it, the caliber, since you guys have experience in this league and know where they can compete. Guys, I really appreciate you coming out. I don't want to take up any more time. Again, I know you're running off to a game soon. Joey Bernardo, Ryan Rourke, good luck the rest of the way for both you guys. And again, our newest members to the Third Period family. Hopefully it's not the last time we'll be seeing you guys on here. We'd love to have you guys back in the future. And as we swing back around to the next time we cover X and Y, I am hoping that some of the ladies will reach out and also want to be a part of this. And if
we'll give you some names.
If you guys can push some of them our way, I think it would be cool to hear a female perspective on this league as well. But beyond that, that's it from us here at the Third Period Podcast. Thanks to the boys. Thanks to all of you for watching. And we will be back here next week. But until then, I guess I'll do it. Good night, NBHL.